At the beginning of the movie, we see a Roman architect named Lucius. He was unable to invent anything new for many days, so he was running low on money. His ideas seemed old and boring to everyone. Then one day, Lucius's friend takes him to a public bathhouse. Normally people come here to relax, but Lucius was troubled, so he goes inside the water and starts meditating. On the other side of the tub, he sees a water vortex. When he goes to check, he gets carried away with the flow of water. After trying hard, he finally comes up to the surface of the water. But as soon as he comes out, he is shocked because he had accidentally entered the 21st century Japanese bathhouse. He doesn't understand what is happening to him. He neither recognizes these people nor understands their language. Some old men were taking a bath. They start laughing when they see Lucius without clothes on, and then Lucius notices. This world is much more advanced than his world, as he is amazed by the bucket of water, tap, and massage devices. Then he walks into the girls' changing room by mistake. There, a woman throws an iron box at his head, and a cartoon artist named Mimi was also present. Seeing her gives him an idea for a cartoon character, so he starts sketching it. After a while, he regains consciousness and is given flavored milk to drink. He likes this milk so much that he asks about its ingredients, but the man just smiles and doesn't give any answers. Slowly, he loses consciousness again, and when he wakes up, he has returned to his city, Rome. His friends say that he drowned in the bathtub. Lucius thought his meeting with the Japanese was just a dream, but he notices the empty milk bottle still near him. 2 months later, Lucius renovates the bathhouse with his new ideas, making it look like a 21st century design, and everyone praises him, and people start enjoying the tasty milk and massage booth. One day, an old man asks Lucius to create a personal bathroom, and while thinking about its design, he ends up back in the water flow of 21st century. At this time, an old Japanese man asks him to bathe him, and although Lucius doesn't understand him, he bathes him anyway. Then he sees many new things like hand showers and shower heads for the first time. From coincidence, this house belonged to the Mimi, that was Lucius, so she ran to get her sketchbook, but by then, Lucius had already left from here. Meanwhile, Lucius had reached the old man's house in Rome and had made a bathroom there, earning a lot of money. Now he could give his wife a good life, but his wife wasn't happy because she wanted to become a mother. But Lucius was always busy with his work. So they fought and his wife left the house in anger. A few days later, the king called her to his palace. He had heard a lot of praise about Lucius, so he ordered him to build a personal bathroom for him. The king said it should be so magnificent that no one had ever seen anything like it before. Lucius agreed to this condition and traveled to different cities for new ideas, but he couldn't come up with any. He felt very embarrassed because all his ideas looked cheap-like from the 21st century. Then suddenly his foot got stuck in a drain and he disappeared again. Meanwhile, 21st century Meme had found a job at a bathroom supply store. By mistake, he touched it and the faucet opened, and the bathtub was filled completely. That's when Lucius comes out of the bathtub and starts breathing heavily. Seeing him, the store manager calls the police and takes advantage of the opportunity to Mimi and Lucius talk to each other, but they don't understand each other's language. Then when Lucius gives him a silver coin and asks him to show him the entire store, Mimi understands. In his life, Lucius had never seen such a beautiful toilet before. His mind was blown away by the printed toilet paper, but what he liked the most was the jet spray. Using it gave him a different kind of satisfaction. Copying all these ideas, he reached Rome and made the most luxurious bathroom of this era for the king. There was 24-hour running water, a bathtub where slaves blew bubbles by fanning, a fusible was kept for decoration, and perfumed candles were also lit. The king was pleased and gave him an expensive chain as a gift. Lucius immediately left for his home, but upon reaching home, he finds out that his wife was having an affair with his best friend. It seems like Mauni is reading about the history of Roman Empire. She wants to know if Lucius really came from the past or not. She notices that the silver coin that Lucius gave her is 2,100 years old. On the other hand, Lucius is very upset in Rome because his wife ran away with his best friend. After a few days, the king summons him again. The king's son had died a few days ago, and now the king thinks that his son has been reincarnated as a crocodile. The king wants Lucius to create a pond in which the crocodile can comfortably reside. Now Lucius is in trouble because if the crocodile dies because of him, the king will kill him too. So, to check the condition of the water, he goes into the king's bathtub. With the flow of water, he again travels back to the 21st century. When he regained consciousness, he was locked in a cage with a crocodile. Actually, he had entered a zoo, and wherever Lucius goes, Mimi's also follow. She had gone on a date with a boy there, but she didn't like him at all. As soon as she saw Lucius, she ran to him and took him out of the cage. Then she showed him around the zoo, how the crocodile is kept, how it is taken care of. Lucius noticed everything carefully. After some time, they sat in a hot water pond and the water flow took them to the water ride. In a few days, a pond is built for that crocodile. The king is very happy to see this and starts considering Lucius a member of his family. Everything was going well in the city, but one day news came. Some people have gone against the king. They want to wage war against the king and remove him from his throne. The war between the king's soldiers and these people goes on for many years. Now, the king had also become old. He decides to give his throne to his brother's son, Cyaneus. After becoming the king, Cyaneus wants to build a very big bathtub for himself, and he orders Lucius to make it. But Lucius does not like Cyaneus because he was very arrogant and selfish. He used to loot the money of the poor. Lucius knew that Cyaneus would become a useless king. So, he refuses to do this job. Cyaneus threatens to hang him, but even then, Lucius does not agree. He goes to another architect and offers him this job. But after becoming famous, no other architect gets any work. In anger, this architect attacks Lucius. Then he pushes him into a well. When he regains consciousness, he sees that he is with the Japanese again. He was injured, and all these people were treating him. Then he is taken to a hot water pond where he will quickly recover. Then Lucius notices him. Any injury is quickly healed by hot water. After a while, Mimi also comes here. She had been trying to learn Lucius's language for the past few days, but before she could say anything, Lucius falls on her and they both drown in the pond together. When they regain consciousness, they have reached Rome. Mimi is surprised to see all this. She realizes that if she doesn't listen to the king, Lucius will be hanged. Mimi tries very hard to explain to Lucius, but he doesn't want to listen to anything and packs his belongings and leaves home. On the other hand, some people in the 21st century go to the pond looking for Mimi and fall into it. Like Lucius, those people also arrive in Rome with the floodwaters, and near a mountain in Rome, Lucius finds a hot water pond. He remembers how the Japanese had healed his wound with hot water, and now he will use the same technique to heal the soldiers of the king using this pond. So, he discusses this idea with the king by presenting a Mimi. Lucius says that the idea was given to him by Antonius. Antonius was also fit to become a king, but he was opposite to Cyaneus. Therefore, Lucius wanted Antonius to look good in the eyes of the king. With the permission of the king, Lucius and Mimi, and 21 first-century people start working, taking care of the injured soldiers. Within a few hours, they build houses near the pond, where wounded soldiers could come and rest. The people from the 21st century provide medical treatment to these soldiers, and they get well soon. A few months later, the king wins the war. Everyone starts dancing and singing with joy. During this time, Lucius and Memi, who had been living together for so long, started liking each other. Lucius was very happy with his life. He was feeling so good for the first time, but then people from the 21st century started disappearing, and the Mimi also slowly started disappearing. But before it disappeared, Lucius told the Mimi that they will meet again. After that, Antonius became the king and Lucius was given a prize for his ideas. If he hadn't been there, the king would never have won the battle. On the other hand, the Mimi was busy in her life at the 21st century. One day, when she was walking by a pond, Lucius emerged from it. They met again and the movie ends there. How did you like this story? Please let us know by commenting, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.